Alright, welcome back to Kicking Out with the Red Shadow. This is part 2 of my collection series. I'm going to continue showing DVDs and Blu-rays and a few other things that I have in my collection. And hopefully I can make this go a little brisker than the last one. I don't want to push these to such a length that I can't upload it. So we're going to jump right back in with the ladder match, WWE ladder match, and ladder match 2, Crash and Burn. As I mentioned in the previous video, I love what I am going to refer to as junk matches. Basically anything where you have props, a special match, or hardcore type matches where you get outside of the ring and hit each other with chairs and all kinds of craziness. And those ladder matches are really good ones. Ladder matches, TLC matches, etc. I'm going to talk a little bit here about a brief portion of my ECW collection. This is ECW Extreme Rules, just a collection of matches, excuse me, thankfully from back in, mostly at least in original ECW days, and not the kind of a shell of a ECW that WWE tried to promote for a few years. Here we have ECW Bloodsport, the most violent matches. Just some unbelievable stuff on here, some pretty gruesome stuff. Show a picture there of, I believe that's Tommy Dreamer, just drenched in blood. Those guys like Tommy Dreamer, Sabu, Terry Funk, Raven, Sandman, many more, they were just nuts. Here's a definitive collection in my opinion. I mean, yeah, it's probably a WWE opinion type documentary or whatever, but this is the rise and fall of ECW. It's just got a lot of really great stuff and tells a really good tale of, you know, the ups and downs of that company and a lot of the people who ended up on WWE later on. And here's a couple more pay-per-view DVDs, but I kept these separate from before because they are ECW related. But it's ECW's One Night Stand 2005 and 2006. Now, this, as the title would infer, was meant to just be a single show, but they brought it back the next year and then had this. This was an amazing dynamic here. Cena as the champion, RVD in an ECW pay-per-view challenging for the WWE Championship. You just gotta watch. I would say watch both of these because they were pretty amazing pay-per-views. Alright, and we've got some WCW stuff here. We've got the rise and fall of WCW, the same kind of treatment as the ECW one. So of course it's a WWE opinion type thing, or at least it's got their control over it. But it's still filled with a lot of really good matches, a lot of good information on ECW stuff. We have the very best WCW Monday Nitro. A lot of big moments in Nitro history, a lot of big matches, wrestlers, everything. Alright, here we have the greatest Hell in a Cell matches of all time. Hell in a Cell. Once again, like the ladder match ones, love these things here. And who can deny that this match is not a classic? Undertaker and Mick Foley, Mankind. Still kind of gives me goosebumps when I watch that. And then here's the anthology of the Elimination Chamber called Satan's Prison. I haven't got to watch this one. This is an unopened one. It's got a sticker on the back from where I bought it online, I think through Amazon. The Triumph and Tragedy of World Class Championship Wrestling. These are kind of like a historical kind of deal, these smaller promotions, but these promotions had a lot of people that ended up on WWE television, WCW as well. I watched it. It was very interesting stuff. Alright, here's some anniversary DVDs. Here's the 10th Anniversary Raw DVD. This is one of my first WWE-related DVD purchases. This is the 10th anniversary. It had some moments and interviews. It's only 3 hours. Not a lot of matches on it. I believe this one had more matches, though. This is the Best of Raw 15th Anniversary with the kind of... It's not holographic, but I can't remember what they call that cover there. This is a 9 hours. I know that this had a bunch of big moments and whatnot, but it had a lot of matches on it as well. And then similar to that, here is the 10th Anniversary Best of SmackDown. Same kind of deal, 9 hours, a lot of matches, a lot of moments, great moments on WWE television. Here's Best of WCW's Clash of Champions. This is unopened, still got the sticker on it. $5 purchase, couldn't pass it up. Not as big a fan of the classic stuff as maybe I should be, but I like to have this stuff for historical purposes, and who knows, I might sit down and watch them and fall in love with it. Here's a great one, the Monday Night War. Raw versus War versus WCW Monday Nitro. This was like when wrestling, in my opinion, really exploded. This era is even better, in my opinion, than the heyday of like Hulk Hogan in the 80s, when it was acceptable for everybody to love wrestling, kids and adults alike. When the Monday Night War happened, that was when it was the best for people of my age, guys who were like in their late teens and into their 20s, as I was. There just was no better time for wrestling, in my opinion. Wrestling's highest flyers, guys like Kofi Kingston, guys like Rey Mysterio. On the back here I see Eddie Guerrero. I mean, there's all kinds of amazing, like Shawn Michaels, Taka Michinoku, Brian Pillman, Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. This is a really good collection there. Here we have the top 50 superstars of all time. I love things like this. These top 50s, top 25s, top 100 moments, moves, you know, all kinds of stuff. I have many more of those to show as we go. This is a really good one. Them ranking the top 50 superstars that have ever come through the WWE. Once again, their opinion, and you can always differ in your opinion of who should go where, but they're still fun shows to watch. Here we have the history of the WWE Championship. I did start to watch this a long time ago. These cases that they use here, they're really weird, but at the same time, they're pretty cool. And then, of course, there's the history of the Intercontinental Championship. Here we have Falls Count Anywhere, the greatest street fights and other out of control matches. Just going back to my love of the junk matches, something like this is just right up my alley. Alright, now we have the greatest stars of the 90s. I think this was a $5 purchase. Covered a lot of guys like Shawn Michaels, Paul Heyman, Lex Luger, Yokozuna, The Rock, Hogan, Stone Cold. It's a little bit of everybody. Just kind of like one of those, how many, well, it's 9 hours because they got a bunch of matches, but just sit down and learn a little bit about a random assortment of big names. This is a better collection here, in my opinion. This is the greatest superstars of the 21st century. This came out in 2011, so basically they were just covering the first 10 or 11 years of the 2000s. But, you know, we got people on there from Trish Stratus to Booker T, you got The Rock, you got the Hardys, you got Triple H, you got Undertaker. I don't know, I just really eat up this kind of stuff. This is the bread and butter for me. Stuff like this and stuff like the wrestler compilations are the best releases that they put out. We're getting down to my last 3 DVDs on this stack, and then we're going to go to my Blu-rays and then a couple special things. Here's the greatest cage matches of all time. As opposed to Hell in a Cell or the Elimination Chamber, these were the cage matches where you could climb over the top or escape through the door. You got people on the cover, WWE represented by Edge, NWA with Ric Flair, WCW is Luger, the AWA is the Road Warriors, and underneath the sticker here for WCCW, I'm pretty sure is one of the Von Erichs, probably Kerry. I can't see his face into the sticker though. Okay, here, this was a very interesting one. I was hoping this was going to be the beginning of a long line of releases. WWE's Greatest Rivalries, Shawn Michaels versus Bret Hart. Another look at the controversy that went around, like the Montreal Screwjob and when Bret Hart left to go to WCW, and basically the birth of the Mr. McMahon character came from that incident. And here's my last DVD release from this first section. It's OMG, the top 50 incidents in WWE history. It's just as you would imagine. It was just amazing moments, like when someone goes crashing through a fiery table. Stone Cold gets arrested. Big Show, I think that's from when Big Show chokeslammed Undertaker through the ring. Not as visually impressive as another Big Show moment that is on that. Alright, so now we're going to jump right on into my Blu-rays. I'm going to start with the Blu-ray releases of individual wrestlers. We have the WWE Undertaker 20-0. Now this was every match in their entirety of the streak up through 20. So it's only missing last year's and this year's matches. But that's every single match in their entirety of the streak. Here we have the Ultimate Collection of Goldberg. I'm not the biggest Goldberg fan, but I appreciate his place in wrestling history. And this has got, you know, a bunch of stuff from WCW time and then his one-year run in the WWE. Here we have Collector's Edition Brock Lesnar Here Comes the Pain Blu-ray. It's a Collector's Edition because this includes everything that was on the original DVD release from years ago, and then Blu-ray exclusive 5 extra matches, including Brock's grueling Extreme Rules match against John Cena. Because Brock Lesnar recently came back, of course this is the guy who ended the streak, so they included some footage from his return. Here we have another Rock release, The Epic Journey of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. More matches, more talk about, you know, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson's career in WWE, as well as movie, Hollywood, and all that. Here we have Stone Cold Steve Austin, the bottom line on the most popular superstar of all time. Once again, you know, I love Stone Cold, and so anything I could get with Stone Cold is great. It's kind of hard to see him not in the ring and not involved in wrestling any more than what he has been here lately, but he went into the Hall of Fame and he deserved it. The last 3 Blu-rays are some WrestleManias. I've actually been picking up a few WrestleManias on Blu-ray. So we have WrestleMania 25. They listed on here as 25th anniversary, but it was WrestleMania 25. I should point out here, there's the Hall of Fame. They're mentioning Hall of Fame and Stone Cold. Every one of these Blu-rays has the entire Hall of Fame ceremony included on them. It's a big part of the reason why I've been picking these up for cheap. It's WrestleMania 26. I keep going back and forth between where I hold these up. 26, also the entire Hall of Fame on it, including Million Dollar Man Ted DiBiase, Stu Hart, Wendy Richter. And then I have 27. And in this one, the Hall of Fame was Shawn Michaels, Road Warriors, Hacksaw Jim Duggan, Sonny, Abdullah the Butcher, even Drew Carey went in on this one. The WrestleManias are fine. You know, of course, they've got great matches with Undertaker, you know, the Streak, championship matches. But for the most part, I'm down with these for the Hall of Fame ceremony because they were cheap. Alright, here is the Attitude Era Blu-ray set, which is awesome, collecting all the best moments from WWE's Attitude Era from around 97, 98 up until the early 2000s. Some great moments there. Then we have NWO, The Revolution. This talks a whole lot about NWO's time in WCW and maybe a little bit in the WWE when they briefly came in. It didn't last long. Here's the best of In Your House. If you don't know what In Your House is, that was basically a pay-per-view series that wasn't the big ones like Royal Rumble, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, SummerSlam. This was a lot of the pay-per-views that they did in between those when they started going to a pay-per-view every month or almost every month. So this has some pretty interesting moments, and I haven't got to watch it though, of course. Alright, here's some more ECW related wonderful awesomeness. This is the ECW's Unreleased Volume 1 with a bunch of matches that weren't on the previous releases. I don't think I've watched this even though it is open, because here I have Volume 2 that's unopened. But like I said, I'll absorb every ECW release that they put out. Now earlier I showed a DVD which was the best of Monday Nitro WCW. This is the best of WCW's Monday Nitro Volume 2. I watched the first one, but I don't think I've watched all of this one yet. Here's another WCW release. It's War Games, WCW's most notorious matches. I love the concept of these. I love the pictures and brief videos I've seen of some of WCW's more unusual matches. So I had to pick that one up when it came out. We have the Best of King of the Ring. It was a pay-per-view series that went for years, and it went away, and then it came back. I don't know if it still goes now, but it had some good moments on it. And here's a fun one. I'm not going to tear this up to pull the handle out on this, but this is the Money in the Bank Anthology. And the case of this is supposed to look like the briefcase that you get when you win Money in the Bank. And here we have another one of the countdown ones that I love so much, the top 25 rivalries. I guess maybe this is kind of a spin-off of the Bret Hart versus Shawn Michaels. Maybe they decided instead of doing constant releases, they would just rank a bunch of the best rivalries over the years. That was a really good one. I watched all of that one. I also watched all of this one. This is like the ultimate history of WWE, which is called The History of WWE, 50 Years of Sports Entertainment. Definitely recommend this one if you're a WWE fan. And we'll end the Blu-ray section, or the main section of the Blu-rays anyway, with Raw 100, the top 100 moments in Raw history. Another really, really good one. Not always just shocking moments, but important moments, funny moments. If you want to encapsulate the last 10 or 15 years, or I guess we're going on almost 20 if we haven't already got there, to really get the feel of Raw for all those years, check out something like this. Okay, so now I'm going to move over to a couple of special things that I have. And they're going to be centered around two wrestlers. So I'm going to show the two Blu-rays for the two wrestlers, and then I'll show what special items I have here. But this is my current and most recent favorite wrestler. He's still my favorite wrestler despite the fact that he's MIA and may not even be with the company anymore. But that's CM Punk, best in the world. This is a perfect collection, of matches and moments and the story. There's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff with CM Punk. Helps you to get to know the guy a little bit better and get some more insight into his world. This is probably about as close as you're going to get to understanding why he comes and goes and why he does what he does. He's a frustrated guy, but he's still the best in the world. And I'm still, a big fan. He's still my favorite wrestler right now, despite the fact that he's not currently a part of the product. And then the other one I have here is Bret Hitman Hart, the Dungeon Collection. More matches, more moments, more information about Bret Hitman Hart. And so I'm going to go to Bret's stuff first. The reason why I showed that separate from everything else was because I bought a package deal from Bret through his website. I think it's been like 2 years ago now. To get a few special items from him, including a few things that are autographed. So I'm going to start off with this piece of artwork that he did, which I need to get in a frame instead of just leaving it in a baggie with this cardboard behind it. But this is artwork that he did, and this is signed by him down below here. It's his actual autograph. And it's pretty amazing that the guy's got this kind of talent. Jerry the King Lawler does a lot of illustrations and stuff and is really good, but we found another artist in the group, which is Bret Hart. I'm sure this is, because I see like Stone Cold, I see Roddy Piper, Ravishing Rick Rude, Andre the Giant is in here, Undertaker, Mankind. So this is, his depiction of a bunch of wrestlers over the years that he's been associated with. But like I said, I really need to get a frame for that and put it in a frame. There's another thing that I got, which is a t-shirt. Not sure how well this is coming through on here. That's the front. It says Hitman. It has the iconic skull, heart, and wings logo, I guess you would call, of his. And then on the back, it's on the top small, but then there's a picture of him locking somebody in there with the figure four. Gosh, I feel really stupid right now, forgetting what his submission move is. It said, see, like I said, I feel stupid because it says right there on the t-shirt, sharpshooter. It's a sharpshooter. sorry guys, I'm out of the loop. This stuff has been sitting in a drawer because I don't know how to properly display this stuff. I don't want this to be exposed to dust and sunlight and all that stuff. So it's packed away. I'm sorry. Don't kill me. And then there's a special DVD that was included, also autographed on the front here. This is Hitman Hart, Wrestling with Shadows. Has the life and death of Owen Hart on the bottom here. Another tragic wrestling story. Another guy who belongs in WWE Hall of Fame. And despite every bad thing and negative thing that's happened with the Harts, I wish that Owen's wife would let him be inducted. Anyway, I'm not sure if you can see. Yeah, you can kind of see it because it's like gold. It's a gold signature on the front, but it's a signature right on it. And last but not least in that collection is Hitman, the autobiography, I guess you would call it, that he wrote, Hitman, My Real Life in the Cartoon World of Wrestling. Nice hardbound book. Inside the front cover is more of the artwork that he did, and then 2 pages in to the book, once again, the book is autographed. I don't own a lot of autographed stuff, but a couple of the few items that I have are all autographed by Bret Hart. So that's my special Bret Hart stuff. Now I have some special CM Punk stuff to show off. Once again, this went through the WWE's website, but I managed to get a collection of CM Punk stuff. I think it was clearanced. Don't, shoot me down for being a cheapskate, but I saw it. It was available, and I jumped on it. But what we have here is a CM Punk hat with the, I think probably my favorite symbol, the thing that he's used, which is the hand with the lightning bolt in it. Inside this plastic here is like a necklace, I guess it would be, on a chain, but I'm leaving it all wrapped up. I'm just one of those kind of guys. Keep it all packaged up nice and neat. Some CM Punk sweatbands, armbands. Of course, you just can't not get a t-shirt. I got a CM Punk shirt. Unfortunately, it's kind of wrinkly. There's the back. Best in the world. This is actually a shirt that I could wear, but like I said, I'm afraid to. I don't want it to be faded after time, and I don't know. I'm just too anal about that. And then there's an autographed picture. It says that it's an authentic signature. This is all sealed up, so I'm not taking it out. But that came with that. And also, this was odd to me too, because I purchased this for myself, but they sent me WWE wrapping paper and gift boxes in case I was gifting any of this on to somebody else. And I'm like, no, it's mine. Now this is separate from all of that package, but I also bought on clearance once. I think I bought 2 of these for $1 a piece, but it's like a, I don't know, like a beanie cap, CM Punk beanie cap. I bought 2. I had intentions of giving one of these to a friend who was a big CM Punk fan, but he was like, that's cool, man, thanks a lot for thinking of me, but I wouldn't really wear it. And he's like, I don't really have any desire to just kind of have it. So I was like, well, that's fine, because I'll wear one and keep the other one in nice condition. And I think I've finally come to the end of my collection here, and I'm looking at my screen up here, and I'm getting low on battery, so that's going to have to wrap this up for now. Charge up my camera and do some more videos here soon, but hopefully you enjoyed seeing my collection of wrestling DVDs and Blu-rays and a little bit of some memorabilia. Comment down below what you liked, if anything here maybe caught your eye. I might talk about a particular release more later on. I might do something along the lines of watching something and then commenting in a video about it later. We'll see though, because I kind of have that plan for something else here in the very near future, so I may want to not stack too much stuff on my plate. But once again, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. See you in the next one of these, Kicking Out with the Red Shadow. Have a great day.